Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today I want to talk to you about the powerful healing abilities of a lunar eclipse. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Sabrina. I am a mystic, a psychic medium, and psychic healer. And I've been on this journey with connecting to nature and the cosmos for over 20 years. I did start a practice of meditation much farther back, thank goodness, when I was 12 years old at the prompting of my father. Okay, come on, Jade, up. There she is. Oh, okay. Yes, my little jealous girl. I don't have a chair for you, I'm sorry. You want me to get a chair? You know, I've already started my video. Yeah, did you do your eyelashes? She likes to watch me put on my makeup, play with my brushes and my eyelashes. That's my familiar, Jade. She's actually connected to Ganesha, which corresponds to the hippocampus. I'm really going to be talking more and more about the healing of the brain, especially as it relates to abuse from narcissism, okay? Now, there can be other types of emotional damage that happens as a result of trauma in your life. Hold on, let me get a chair. So, if you have had emotional issues, emotional traumas, past experiences that were stressful, okay? And they've stayed in the body, okay? They start in the mind, and of course the body is housing all of us, our spirit, our mind, our body, our memories. Memories are housed in the subconscious mind, and the hippocampus also has storage. I think for more immediate memories, not necessarily long term storage. So, in talking about releasing stress, whatever's going on in your life now, your mind and your body is affected to a lesser or a greater degree. Most of my life, I suffered from a lack of energy, not really knowing why. Now, part of it was I didn't have a diet that was high enough in proteins and maybe carbs. I had also been taught not to overeat so that I didn't, get overweight. And you can go back and watch some more of my videos as I've learned, and I'll talk a little bit more about this. But as you embark on learning about your connection to Earth and the cosmos, and how the brain is actually affected by stressors and trauma, and what happens to us in our inner psyche, okay? Ways that we behave reflect that, where we are on our journey emotionally. You might want to start a practice of meditation first, but eventually you get to the place where I did, where I was an awareness of that I needed to connect to the earth, because we are connected. We have lost our connection. We need to replug back into Earth and the cosmos. Think about it. Earth is floating up in space and going around the sun. We don't think about it, but it is. We are connected to the cosmos. And I've said this before. Our bodies come from the earth, and the earth is made of star stuff. We are connected to all of nature, and that includes the cosmos and the stars. But I'm repeating it here again today. So a meditation practice is going to help you get in touch with your inner voice first of all. All right? Now, if you want to just start focusing on the moon, that's fine. You acknowledge your connection to nature and the cosmos and the moon. Phases of the moon correlate to the water here on Earth and in our bodies. We already know the moon can affect certain people in big, big ways. So there are I'm moving, so I'm getting, things packed little by little and going through notes, journals, dream journals, magical, esoteric notebooks with information. I came across a piece of paper about a lunar eclipse dream I had many years ago. I've had a lot of dreams. I'm prophetic. In particular, on the lunar eclipse, I've had a release of stressors. And then on the solar eclipse, I have had truths revealed. Now, I've also had, well, no, I can't remember. I'm still actually learning about this, but I have definitely been affected by the lunar eclipses and the solar eclipses, full moons, waning moons, and dark moons. And I realized that I was affected a lot by the dark moon and the waning moon and how I was working with it for many, many years. Primarily just a very simple form of meditation. Just doing basically nothing, bumming around the house, relaxing and resting on a dark moon. It's very regenerating. So I was reading the notes and I was reviewing a dream I had where I had been literally taken to outer space while I was sleeping that night. And it was an incredible release of stressors. I had a big release by traveling out of my body that night from all of the big stressors I was having in my life that week. I had lost yet another temporary job, dealing with my partner who was unhappy about that, and then a birthday coming up. And in those days, I was still dealing with the fact that I was getting overly wound up about things. And part of this was because having a partner who was voicing a lot of his negative thoughts and ideas as a narcissist. And I didn't know how else to deal with it, except at that time I was still learning how not to get a little bit hysterical about anything anymore. But it was a process. It's not an event, it's a process. So this dream I had where I was led to go out into outer space helped a lot. I don't think that I was emoting like that ever again. After that, I just realized I needed to stay calm. It was a lunar eclipse on, I believe, the south node. And so, it depends on the nodes as to how it's going to work. In Vedic astrology, it's called Rahu and Ketu. And so I wrote in my notes that there's 3 different types of eclipses, and it doesn't matter which one you work with. They're all going to help you. But in order to track these lunar eclipses, you're going to need some type of an online almanac. I wrote down mysteryeclipse.com. I don't know if that's still available, but I'm leaving a little picture here for timeanddate.com. I've already had enough hot coffee. I don't want to have any more hot coffee now. It's time for lunch. So that's going to be helpful as well. Now, how do you prepare and how do you acknowledge the lunar eclipse when it comes? Once you've found out when it's coming, you write it on the calendar, you make a note of it. You start making it a conscious practice to be still and quiet for a few minutes every day as the oncoming next 2 weeks, 2 weeks before, is going to bring about this lunar eclipse. Let me tell you why I suggest this. I had decided to go and buy a candle with Marta Dominadora and a snake was on it. I was already being encouraged to work more and more with this snake energy. I've had snake on my mind for a while, but this is what happened 2 weeks before. And I only lit it for a few minutes. I wasn't sure this was the right energy for me to really work with for what I was going through, you know, here at the time. And then I came across a spirit that is a shamanic spirit. It works like a shaman, and it works very well with people like me. And there was a snake in the imagery of this spirit, Orias, okay? I'm not telling you to do that, but this is what I was led to do. And so as I listened to the inn before I went to sleep, I had a very insightful dream. And then I listened to the inn again a couple nights after that, and I had another type of a dream. And I did record it in my spell book, my binder with my workings. But at this moment, with my ring light in my eyes, I can't really recall exactly what it was, but I think it did have to do with astrology in the heavens. And this is one thing that Orias will help you understand. As above, so below. It's a mirror, okay? Now, it's not all fate and destiny. But what's interesting is that these eclipses, the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse, do have to do with points of fate and destiny in our lives. A destiny to have a healing and a release of stress is very good. And if you can harness it, you'll probably have a stronger acknowledgement of whatever you were thinking, feeling, dreaming, or whatever ideas, memories, movies, titles of books are coming to your mind during that time, the day before, the day of, the day after. There's different ways that it can work. For me, I usually have very strong, insightful dreams. It's an astral travel, usually. So the lunar eclipse we had on March 25th was a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. Now this one had the ability to release stress from way back in the past, because the full moon works out of time and so does Pisces. So it was a double whammy, and you add that dark energy, you can really, like shadow work, okay? You can really get to the root of a matter, and it can go very far back. And as I had been remembering things from my childhood, and that my mother was a narcissist, as I looked at these memories and I started really deciphering them with a whole list of these behaviors that are damaging, I could understand why I started having a psychotic episode, where even though she had stopped coming to my bedroom and turning me into her emotional caregiver, go watch that video, I started seeing bugs on my bedroom curtains, and they really seemed real. And with natives of Moon and Capricorn, you're going to have issues with anxiety anyway. Now it was magnified. The good news is we can heal, okay? It's good to become very conscious and aware of all of these things. But, you know, things happen. We encounter people all the time. We have to learn how to heal, how to get these things out of our mind and our body. Your mind is like an organic computer. And there are different sections to it. There's the frontal lobe, there's the temporal lobe, and there's the occipital lobe. And then there's a few other ones here by the ears. But in the temporal lobe, deep within the temporal lobe, is the hippocampus. The hippocampus is responsible for storage and memory. And the subconscious mind is where things that we don't deal with or can't deal with, and we continue to live our life, start to get archived. They have to be. They have to be put into long-term storage. And there they sit. And you're not aware of how much they're draining your energy until you start a practice of meditation. And even, I recommend learning positive self-talk. As the years have gone by, I have had insightful dreams that made me feel huge releases of emotion through the body, felt through the body. I felt lighter, I felt energized, and this is where I realized, you know, that I had mediumship. I was opening up to becoming, a full-blown medium, and all these other things. And a connection to nature and the cosmos, as well as deep inner psyche things that I had seen even when I was younger, and learning more and more about. They're called inner parts, all right? And they were being transformed. And sometimes all you need to do is overwrite things by telling yourself, I love myself, you know, I feel good about myself, I have strong self-esteem, I have strong self-confidence, I'm becoming more aware, I'm getting better and better. Every day I'm becoming a better version of myself every day. And at that point I was me 2.0. And I continued living my life and having, you know, more things to go through and learn, but I had the energy to do it. I had the energy to get out of a relationship with a full-blown narcissist who was too old to recover. And I had realized many things. So with the newfound energy, I was able to do all of the things that I needed to do. Fast forward now, you know, I've had some stressors over this past year, and that has also forced me to alchemize my pain and become more aware and look and think and research, you know, psychology. And a viewer actually gave me a term that led me down the road quicker, sooner rather than later. It's not just that I'm an ACA and my mom was an alcoholic and my grandfather was a drunk, and all of the destruction that happens related to alcohol and people who drink and get drunk. These people have deep-seated issues. And more times than not, I think they are narcissists, or they have strong narcissistic traits. And these things are visited upon us. This is not karma that we created. These are experiences that are visited upon us. And these things need to be released. Okay? You can talk about them until the cows come home. But if you don't work at a subconscious level and or with nature and the cosmos, you're really not going to be able to transform that energy at a deep level. So on this lunar eclipse, I had the candle with the snake, and then I decided something else about a snake. I don't remember what it was. But then I came across the Jungle Book image movie, and then the song, And then I started singing the song. Music is a big, big part of my life. And then I started dancing like a snake, okay? So this is something that you can do along with meditation. Or watch someone who's actually doing a ritual, snake ritual dance for spiritual reasons. Kundalini yoga is designed for this. So you're working with your chakras and this energy that's going to be rising up and then being released. And if you haven't seen my video about snake energy, please go watch it, because I describe my astral travel and how I was simply told, you are now a new person. So I did not relive anything. I didn't see anything. I've already been reviewing childhood memories with my mother. And this does have to do with Black Moon Lilith and the position in my chart. It's in the second house of beliefs and values. And it does have to do with the mother and a shadow aspect. So this was being released, this Lilith snake energy. And I've been working with her every Saturday for several years. She actually came to me several years before that. And then the day after I had a dream visitation from Astarte, I woke up in the morning and saw a picture of Frasier with Lilith from the show Frasier and heard the word Lilith. So I think this is also very helpful, working with Black Moon Lilith. And they say if you do work with Black Moon Lilith and the energy, or just, you know, the personification of it with a picture and the snake, that you can work through karmic experiences to the point where you can eventually release all of them and not have to come back anymore to deal with experiences that you have had in your life or were visited upon you in your life. And now I understand that because of what's been happening to me. So in the dream I was told, Julie has been transforming for a while now, and that name Julie means like a babe, new person. And we wanted to acknowledge this, and there was this funeral, right? Big, big ending for a new beginning. And with spring here, it's all about the frozen thawing out and new things ready to grow. And I'm telling you, I felt so light and refreshed in the days going forward. Aside from me getting tired from exercising, I just, again, was like a new version, right? What's after 2.0? 3.0. I felt it. I still feel it. More burdens have been lifted because I've been reviewing my past and looking at my past, you know, and these memories and my childhood and my mother and having this new information. So when you do that, it's like more and more files and has been pushed over into the little garbage can that's on the desktop, right? Don't need that, put it in the garbage. Don't need that, put it in the garbage. But eventually you get to the point where your mind says, okay, well, we don't even need that anymore. It's overflowing. That's already been understood and acknowledged. It can be dumped. Like emptying your cache, your history, getting more storage on your phone or your computer. You're now back down to like 0. So you can have an open hippocampus for new memories. This is a wonderful place to get to, and it probably will happen later on in life. But there's no better time to start than now, because every time a lunar eclipse comes, you can have a release of stressors. You can have an insightful dream. You can have a wonderful astral travel where you are literally able to sort of leave your body for a few seconds, where those stressors are released from the body, because the mind has taken what was archived and brought it to the hippocampus, and then it's released. So that's the physical thing that happens. Because when you suffer trauma, when you suffer neglect or abuse in different forms, the amygdala gets bigger and the hippocampus gets smaller. And until you get away from that environment, you cannot begin to heal. And you do have to live a somewhat peaceful life, and you also do have to have fun, okay? So you're actually going to be probably learning how to form your own identity, your own thoughts, your own spiritual practice, you know, and how to mature. Because you probably have adopted some codependent thoughts and feelings and behaviors. It's just prevalent in society. But the more that we work, it's easy, guys. That's the thing. It takes the path of least resistance. Now, sometimes when we do have information, dreams, visions, whatever, you have to go to a counselor and talk it out, or talk about your childhood so that you get new insights and information on what was happening. And then you continually work spiritually by acknowledging your connection to the earth, nature, and the cosmos. And by acknowledging the moon to help you with emotions and the subconscious mind. You can light a black candle to represent the lunar eclipse, and the flame will represent the light that will illuminate what is hidden in shadow in the subconscious mind. This is all science, guys. The science of you, emotions, and your body. Releasing stressors from the body as it's being released from the mind. And actually feeling like a lighter person. I went to work and I did not have to tell myself, be relaxed. I just was. Feel light. Feel fine. I just was. And it became more and more as we got to the solar eclipse. And now it seems like I wake up feeling even lighter and fresher. I'm sleeping better. And I walked 3.5 miles at the park the other day. And I normally can't walk more than 1.5 miles or 2, especially if I have to climb stairs at work. But I did that one day, and I had on the wrong shoes, and I was still fine. I'm like, what is the deal? My mind and my body are just unburdened. So there is a healing. There is a healing there with the body. And I was not even having all of the supplements I normally have. I mean, if you've ever experienced that, and you don't know what it was, these things can come, but I think that they can happen stronger and better if we're more aware of working in this way. So, people I think have been preoccupied with taxes. I got mine done back in February. So I haven't really been getting comments. I did get comments on my videos about my memories, you know, and that I am a survivor of abuse related to narcissism, and that I'm much more aware now. I'm also much more in control of myself and my thoughts and feelings and behaviors. So, yeah, when it comes to Ganesha, Ganesha is a deity that can help you as well. And I might have to make a specific video about this. There's a reason why I became aware of Ganesha. And fortunately, Ganesha is a part of my soul family because of my life path number. So self-knowledge is a big part of that as well. Getting your numerology done, getting your astrology done, sidereal astrology. Know thyself, and to thine own self be true. Okay, that's it for today. Please make some type of a hello or a comment. And by the way, I do not have any other way to support this channel. recently have not been posting that I have a PayPal me, but this is incredibly insightful knowledge that I am led to see and to know and to share as a mystic and a medium. And PayPal me is the only source of support that I would have for this channel and sharing. And it always makes me feel better when somebody shows me that they appreciate the knowledge and the insights that are given to me through my mind and my body, and passing them on to you. And these techniques for how to do these things. Be aware. It's simple. It takes a small amount of time and effort. And if you contribute to the PayPal me for this channel, which I'll leave here, I appreciate your support. It makes me feel like I'm being appreciated. So, you know, I don't have time to do anything else with the website. I'm actually still learning and growing with tarot and seeing the correlation between the moon phases and what's going on in the heavens as I work with tarot. So I'm ever the student, okay? Even though I'm teaching and sharing and I'm at a higher level, there's more, right? Until I pass away someday. And I felt when I was younger that if reincarnation is true, I don't think I really want to come back. And it's not that I don't have a zest for life, but, you know, a lot of sensitive, artistic people, they just see that things aren't quite right. They're not necessarily they're not doing work that is fulfilling. And it can be difficult to have the support and the resources you need to really start doing something that's really fulfilling and doesn't eat up all of your extra time. You know, if you don't live alone, you have a partnership, that needs to be nurtured. That needs to be, you have to be attentive to your relationship. And, you know, making all my oils and having an Etsy shop was fulfilling. But it started to become a little bit arduous. I do still have oils if you're interested. I have Psychic Eye oil, Fiery Wall of Protection. I recommend things like Psychic Eye and holding a stone such as a quartz crystal or black obsidian to connect with the dark moon energies. Again, a picture of Lilith. I even made some Lilith incense that I burn with her picture. I think that's all I have to say today. I do appreciate your support, showing me consideration. If you have any questions, leave them below or go back and watch the video again. Please like, please share, help get this knowledge out, help this channel grow. It is starting to grow and I enjoy making my intros and my outros, and have a wonderful rest of the week. See you later.